Call to order, Rincon City Council meeting October 27th, 2025. Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Scott, Councilmember Milner,
Present.
Councilmember Underwood, Mayor Exley, Councilmember Blackwell,
Here.
Councilmember Taylor, here, Councilmember Ryman, here.
Tonight's invocation and pledge, the flag given by Jimmy Bowen of Rincon Church of God. And then please remain standing for the pledge.
Father, we thank you that we can lift up your name in this atmosphere of a town meeting. I pray that you would take these council members, mayor, staff, to make decisions tonight that will direct the city of Rincon in the right direction. Help us to walk worthy of the position you put us in for such a time as this. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
There's motions in order to approve tonight's agenda. I got a motion by Ms. Riley. I got a second by Ms. Taylor. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. And then there's a motion in order to approve the September 8th, 2025 minutes. Does anybody have anything in that?
I found two corrections to make, and I passed them on to Dulce. She has make a motion to approve.
I got a motion by Mr. Blackwell. I got a second by Ms. Taylor. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. And then we have motions in order for the September 22, 2025 minutes. Anybody got anything on that?
Make a motion to.
I got a motion by Mr. Blackwell. I got a second by Ms. Riley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, so tonight we're going to start off. We've got to do our Hero of the Month tonight, and this is for Private First Class Luther Elwood Buck Bagley. Councilman Milner will give this award out.
Today we're here honoring Private First Class Luther Elwood Buck Bagley. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, and distinguished guests, we gather here today to honor the return at long last of Private First Class Luther Elwood Buck Bagley, a son of Georgia, a soldier of valor, and a hero who gave everything in service to his country. Nearly 80 years passed since Private First Class Bagley was declared missing in action in the dense jungles of Burma on July 25th, 1944. He was only 22 years old. Serving with the legendary 5307th Composite Unit Provisional, the famed Merrill's Marauders. These brave men faced impossible odds, fighting through disease, exhaustion, and overwhelming enemy forces to capture the strategic town of Kenya. Their courage would become the foundation of today's 75th Ranger Regiment, whose crest proudly bears the Marauder patch. For decades, the name Buck Bagley was etched into the memory of one of our fallen soldiers, whose resting place was unknown. Thanks to the dedication of the U.S. Army's Defense POW MIA accounting agency and the perseverance of his family, Buck finally came home. For Nathan Woody Bagley, that May morning phone call from Fort Knox changed everything. The DNA that he sent years earlier had confirmed what his heart had longed hoped for. His father had been found. After 80 years, that missing chapter of family history could at last be closed. And for Mrs. Eleanor Stark, who will turn 100 this year, this homecoming carries the weight of a lifetime. She was just 19. A Rosie the Riveter, working in Savannah when she learned that the great love of her life had been lost in war. Today she lives to see him return. Buck Bagley's story is one of duty, sacrifice, and enduring love. A Georgia boy who left the cotton mills to serve his nation. And a family that never stopped waiting for him. In 2023, he was inducted into the Georgia Military Veterans Hall of Fame, joining the ranks of our state's most honored heroes. And now he returned to Georgia soil, not as one missing, but as one returned. And remembered. Let us reflect that the measure of the nation's greatness is not only in how it fights its wars, but in how it remembers its warriors. Again, after nearly 8 decades, America has kept her promise to leave no soldier behind. Welcome home, Private First Class Lutheran Elwood Buck Bagley. Your duty is done. Your sacrifice is honored. And your family, your country, we will never forget you. Thank you, as our hero of the moment.
All right, guys, we will move forward with Chief Reed's going to come up and do some awards.
I'm going to help.
And you're going to help?
All right.
Well,
I'm going to read this because this one's pretty close to Chief Reed's heart, and it was a lot. So, on the morning of September 11th, the Rincon Fire Department was dispatched to a working structure fire with an entrapment. And as you all know, September 11th was a pretty heavy day to begin with. Within 3 minutes of dispatch, firefighters arrived on scene and immediately began rescue operations. Sergeant Stephen Milton entered the building, making his way upstairs through active fire conditions. And when I say this, I mean heavy smoke and fire coming out of that house. Firefighter Devin Warren initiated fire attack operations, while Sergeant Mia Johnson, serving as the driver operator, supplied water to the firefighters on scene. Inside, Sergeant Melton and Lieutenant Dana Rigsby located an unconscious female victim in an upstairs bedroom and successfully removed her from the structure. Lieutenant Rigsby began CPR, and with the assistance of additional emergency personnel, the patient was resuscitated and later transported for further treatment. Thanks to their swift, courageous efforts, the victim survived and was released from the Augusta Burn Center 2 weeks later. The city extends its sincere gratitude to the Rincon Police Department, Effingham County Fire Department, Effingham County EMS, Effingham County Hospital, and Lifestar Air Ambulance Service for their teamwork and dedication during this emergency. Moments like these remind us of the extraordinary bravery and professionalism of our first responders and our city officials. Their actions reflect the highest standards of service to the citizens of Rincon and Effingham County. Chief Reed?
Sergeant Melton. This life-saving award is presented to firefighter Sergeant Stephen Melton. Recognition of your courageous life-saving actions on the scene of a house fire on September 11th, 2025. In Rincon, Georgia, you put yourself in harm's way to save another human life with dedication and courage. Congratulations. Wrigley. Generation me this life-saving award is presented to you in recognition for your courageous and life-saving actions on the scene of a house fire on September 11th, 2025 in Rincon, Georgia. You put yourself in harm's way to save another human life with dedication and courage. September 11th, 2025. Sergeant Johnson. Sergeant Johnson was our pump operator and incident commander to begin with. In recognition for your outstanding excellence, Firefighter Sergeant Mia Johnson was great honor and appreciation for the commendable and dedicated service to the Rincon Fire Department and the Rincon communities. Never forget your difference you make every day. You're greatly appreciated. Devin Warren is, he's getting an outstanding and excellence awards also. He could not be here tonight. He is continuing his training at the Claxton Fire Department, taking his firefighter 2 exam. So we will make sure that he gets this. Okay.
Guys, last night I was supposed to do a little speech at the back to badge and wasn't feeling real well. I did send information in, and I think Mr. Don Davis read that for me. But one of the things that kind of hits home when I sit here and watch these guys is I think about a guy told me a long time ago that maintenance was the tail that wags the dog in a business. These are the guys that wag the dog as our first responders. And, you know, we support them. I know you see, you know, Chief Reed is emotional over it. And, you know, when I was thinking about writing this speech, I thought about what would life be without them? You know, where would we be? It would be chaos. It would be problems. It would be all types of things going on without our first responders. So I just want to say, hey, I really appreciate what y'all do. And I know this city does, but I mean, you know, you get up every day and go out there and risk your life. And you don't know whether you're going to come home or not. So I think that says a lot for these men and women that's back here and our PD as well. So if y'all give them a round of applause. Move on. Public comments shall pertain to agenda items only. Should you wish to appear before council, you can find those forms, but you can also go online. Those forms are online to fill out. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our city attorney, public hearing officer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This will call to order the public hearing section of the city council meeting. Per our ordinances, the following procedures need to be read and described before we go into the 2 specific items for hearing. Just please keep in mind, if the hearing is initiated by an applicant other than the city council, the petitioner requesting the decision or their agent shall be recognized first and permitted to present and explain the requested zoning decision. Thereafter, any and all individuals who desire to do so shall be permitted to speak in favor or in opposition of the proposed zoning request or decision. If the request is made by the city, all members of council shall be allowed to speak as they are recognized by the mayor or presiding officer, whether it be in favor or in opposition. Thereafter, all individuals who would like to do so are permitted to speak again in favor or in opposition to the decision. If and when any person wishes to speak and is recognized and comes up to the podium, after being recognized, they shall give their name, address, and their comments. If they have made a campaign contribution in excess of $100, they are supposed to disclose that. A time limit may be imposed by the presiding officer, that's me. All speakers are urged to make their comments brief and avoid repeating other comments. The person making the petition or proposing the zoning decision, after all comments in opposition have been made, will have the opportunity to make rebuttal or summary remarks concerning the proposed zoning decision. Thereafter, the presiding officer, that's me, will announce a public hearing closed, and the city agenda will proceed as completed here. So with that said, the following public hearing is opened, and that is specific to review on proposed amendments to the City of Rincon Unified Development Ordinance, UDO, Chapter 2 definitions, Chapter 9 maintenance and enforcement, and the creation of Chapter 11 soil erosion, sedimentation, and pollution control. At their meeting on October 21st, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the proposed amendments. And I imagine Ms. Lewis has some comments.
Good evening. So during a recent site visit with EPD, they let us know that when they looked at our code that we did not have the most recent code adopted. We had the 2009 model ordinance for soil and erosion control, and it had been updated in 2016, and so we needed to make those changes to our code. So I realized that I should have given you this nice little cheat sheet beforehand, so you didn't wonder why you had this big set of amendments. But a couple things to point out. One, when we did the UDO, we took the definitions out of the soil and erosion control section and put them in Chapter 2 with all of our definitions. In talking to EPD, they want the definitions that are specific to soil and erosion control to be in that section. So we are moving them back to that section. The other thing that we're doing to make it cleaner is we are putting soil and erosion control in its own chapter. So we're taking it out of the chapter that it's in right now and creating a Chapter 11, and it's only going to be soil and erosion control. So the big thing out of all of these changes that you see here, the main changes that happened between the 2016 model ordinance and 2009 model ordinance were 2016 model ordinance incorporates a new, at the time, 2016 manual and its equivalent BMP, best management practices list process. Georgia kept the buffers the same, but went ahead and added some criteria if you need to get a variance from one of those buffers. And this is a variance that's separate. It's not our typical city variance requirements. This is very specific to the buffers for state waters. So again, the buffer numbers didn't change. It was just they added additional criteria for that people would use if they want to get one of those buffers. The plan submittal and NOI process changed to move to the GEOS electronic submittal instead of paper submittal. So again, that's just a reference change in the code. And then the 2016 manual itself changed to an erosion control first approach and added and updated best management practices. So those are the significant differences between the 2009 version and the 2016 version. And I should note that we can be more restrictive, but we cannot be less restrictive than what is in this code. Bless you. So that's what we're proposing right now, is that we change from the 2009 model ordinance and update it to 2016. The next update, according to EPD, would be in 2028.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any public comments on that item? Hearing and seeing none, that will close the public hearing on that specific hearing. I will now call to order and open public hearing on the second item on the agenda. That is a public hearing on a petition for a variance submitted by Kevin McLeod, the property owner for the property located at 0 North Lexington Avenue, parcel number ID R22800018002. The applicant is requesting a variance from the required minimum lot width of 100 feet to allow a reduced lot width of 74 feet in the R2 residential zoning district. And the planning and zoning board meeting findings are in the agenda item. Would the applicant or requester please come to the podium?
There, my name is Kevin McLeod. I have some screenshots or pictures I'll present on the screen. But in short, keep it very simple. I'm just looking to have the widths for this parcel match exactly what 90% of all the parcels around it are, including the ones that are immediately adjacent. So all the parcels that are in this neighborhood, if you go on QPublic and you measure on the tax assessor map, most of the widths are around anywhere from 65 to 75 feet, high 70s. So, and my parcels will be actually a little longer. This is a rather large parcel. And only because it's so deep and not so long and oblong, is this even needed. If it was just a little bit more of a long rectangle, or, you know, you would very easily be able to just do 4 parcels. So again, the parcels will be roughly the same size, if not even a little bigger than all of the neighboring parcels in that neighborhood, and the same width. And you know what, I'll just preface this too. I've talked with several neighbors who are immediately adjacent to the parcel. Great folks. Their chief concern was drainage. I'm willing to commit to, if necessary, putting a ditch right here, and even if necessary, committing to maintenance of that. So again, the width is, if we can pull up maybe the QPublic, it kind of shows the screenshots that I emailed this afternoon. Yeah. They were in the email. Oh. I emailed her. Yeah, without. So this is Lexington Avenue, and this is the Four Oaks Court subdivision. And so all of these parcels right here, like that's around, I think, 70 feet or even 68 feet, around 75 feet, 70 feet, 70 feet, 70 feet. There's only a handful of ones, of course, where they're a corner or a wedge, but 90% of the parcels in this area, including these parcels up there on that side of the road, are that same width. So I'm just, it's just because of the shape of the parcel, that's why I'm asking for this variance. But this variance is in line with the dimensions of all the parcels in the immediate neighborhood. And if we can pull that up, but while we do that, if anyone has any questions?
Anybody come up here?
Lots of work.
Yes.
Does anyone need?
It's just a JPEG.
Because I don't. We don't.
Okay. Correct. I'm a GIS analyst. I'm a geographer, so I mean the measurements should be pretty. I hope that I was able to measure a map.
So there's a lot of good information about request and
That's right.
driven through that area.
Okay.
Not sure we'll do that.
And I'm happy to answer questions from of course any of you all or any folks in the audience.
I'm more concerned about the drainage ditch that you mentioned. Currently, there seems to be a ditch right there along Lexington Avenue.
That's right.
So what do you prove that, pipe it?
So great question. In theory, the entire parcel would be sufficiently drained, right? That was the whole intent of that drainage ditch that goes along Lexington Avenue. It goes up to the north and drains to Polly Creek. And there is a canal on the kind of lower left of that image. You can almost even really see it. There's a drainage ditch that goes under that road, Four Oaks Court, and then it goes to the south of my parcel, not on my parcel, but kind of right south of the southern border. And then it drains Four Oaks Court into that. Now, my neighbor Brian, who is the border person, and I guess he's not here right now. He was working. He said he'd try to make it. We've been communicating. He says he has a little ponding in his backyard. And then Lester, who's another person that borders just 2 parcels up, but I back up to, also said he's concerned. But the issue is that the property goes slightly up before it then drops down into the ditch. So basically, it's mostly flat, but there is a minor kind of depression on the southern half of the parcel. And so if we were to do homes, what I'm saying is I would propose doing a swale or some kind of drainage ditch to convey the water into that drainage ditch along Lexington Ave. On the north, that's not necessary. And I actually have a topo map, which I could show, but suffice to say, so it's a rectangle. On the northern side of the parcel, there's a drainage ditch that's already there. It's a big drainage ditch. I mean, it's like 3 feet deep by 5 feet wide, and it forms, I'll show you right here. There is a drainage ditch right here on the northern side, and that drainage ditch is the property line. So the drainage is good on the top half. On the bottom half, if we need, I'm more than happy to do a swale, just basically a ditch. It's 180 feet by 300 feet, the parcel. So, that's not a big, mini X, little Bobcat, just a little drainage. But if the town requires me to, for example, maintain that, that's understandable. I'm willing to work with Brian, who's the neighbor, Brian Rosier. So this is what I'm mentioning. So right here, if we want to do now there's already, like I said, a big canal right here, but it drains mostly over here, and then it goes under his yard. So it's literally just his yard it's just his yard that he's worried about. His shop, he says, which is right here. He says there's some localized there. So again, if I need to do a ditch to convey out to the main drainage ditch along Lexington Ave, I'm happy to. So this is what I was mentioning. So 70 feet, 73 feet, 72, 62, 60, 67, and if we go to maybe 1 or 2 other images, we pull them up just for examples. Yep, 67, 72, 72, 70, 68, 63, 78. There are a couple of large, parcels that haven't been split yet that are over there, but they, it's not really going. So, I did come before the planning commission to ask for, smaller lots. I've scaled that back. That was out of proportion, to be honest. That was just, not even wise to go that route. But I've significantly scaled back to just match the existing dimensions of all of the existing parcels that are there. And again, I'm willing to work with folks on drainage or other issues. Do you have any other questions pertaining to that?
We have one.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So
Yes.
I have a couple of questions.
Yep.
I know that area well.
Yep.
From what I'm looking at, it looks like there's wetlands
Yep.
in that area.
Good question.
Okay, that's one concern.
Yep.
The second concern is this entrance and the next entrance. The people in the backyards, it is very, very wet. And there's sometimes it takes a good week of solid dryness for that area to dry out. The third thing I have is you mentioned that you have good partnerships with the community.
Yep.
Has anybody approached you about buying that property in that little community right there?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think it was serious.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. Yes. But, not at I was, yes, but not, I don't think it was serious as, so.
Thank you.
Hey, if somebody wants to throw me a good number out, sure. But yes, I'm actively engaging with Lester and Brian, who are 2 direct neighbors that I back up to. And I'm happy to answer any questions. So wetlands, that's a good question. I have a letter from the Corps. There's an approved jurisdictional determination that it's not jurisdictional, so there are no wetland regulatory issues. And drainage, there is localized ponding from what Brian says, and I believe him. So again, I'm willing to do a swale or a ditch or a culvert or whatever we need to do. I'm willing to commit to that in writing as a condition tied to this variance. But as far as when we get to the planning and engineering phase, I'm willing to work with folks on that. I think it's very localized. We're talking, an eighth of an acre, a quarter of an acre. I mean, it's literally just where his shop is, right there where that blue roof is, and then immediately above that. So it's the size of a backyard or half a backyard. But again, I'm willing to work with folks.
Well, I appreciate you. Are you done?
Just, Bo, are we allowed to ask the intent for that property? I know you said.
Yes. I mean, I'm willing-
Duplexes, okay.
Absolutely. I'm very, go ahead, sir.
What's your intent?
To build homes, single family. So the intent would be 4 because at 74 feet, 75 feet, that's 300 feet. The parcel is 300 feet long. So a builder, a good builder, I mean, I've been talking with them for a while. I live here, I'm in this community, I work for local government doing GIS, so I have a good feeling that they mean what they say. They seem like they want to work with folks as well. Keep a couple trees, make it nice. Their intent is single family. In fact, they made that, they're like not interested in going down any other path. They would like to do 4 single family homes, which again, I don't need any variance for any other number except for the width. All of the setbacks, all the size, all the open space, no variance is needed. It's just the width. And again, we're talking 25 feet. So they're not intending to build duplex. This developer, and when I was talking to Jerry, I think this, I apologize if I came across the wrong way, but I'll be very transparent. This developer, let me emphasize this. This developer is interested in single family, 4 single family. I'm not sure if they're interested in 3, maybe. I mean, I hope. But
So
one thing I would clarify. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
just to be clear, it
Yes.
was previously zoned R6, which would be the duplexes. It's no longer zoned that because of the UDO,
I'm
correct?
glad you asked. Now, can I clarify with Terry, what currently could I do? What is the maximum that I could do single family and duplex? Could we read what R2 is into the record, maybe? Would do me a favor.
And make sure you let him know our lot size is the standard.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So for R2, the uses are single family and duplex, and the minimum land area per lot is 12,000 square feet. Maximum dwelling unit per gross area is 4. Minimum front setback, 35 feet. Minimum side setback, 15 feet. Minimum rear setback, 25 feet. Minimum width of lot, 100 feet. Minimum depth of lot, 120 feet. Minimum open space, 55%. And maximum building height, 35 feet.
So I've done the math. If you divide, it's 1.15 acres, and if you divide by 4, that's 12,500. So that's the closest number. But all the setbacks, none of the other numbers. I mean, it's 180 feet deep. All of those numbers align except for the width.
The only problem I have is the
Yes, ma'am.
100. You're not going to get it from me, I'm sorry, because we've had other people come up here and ask for the same thing and we turn them down. We have set standards, and if we give it to you, then, we're going to have a slew of people coming here and want to do the same thing, so.
I mean, my only counter is just all of the other lots are that size.
That was in the past. We have strict guidelines now. But that's just me. They may decide something different.
And I will interject as the public hearing officer, this item will be on the agenda on council side, and y'all can elect to do this how you want, but this would be the opportunity for anyone else if they'd like to interject their comments for or against, so y'all can revisit this in 30 minutes or so. Thank you.
Just one other thing the door is open, right? So I could do 3 buildings that are duplex. So that would end up being 6 families there instead of 4. So if I took that route, there would actually be more density, and I don't know what another builder might want to do. I'm just being fully transparent, so, right now, the offer is, hey, 4 houses, or maybe 3, I don't know, but I haven't seriously gone out and talked to other builders yet, but that would probably be the next step, but I can tell you, this seems like a really good builder. If this passes, I think that's just it, we'll go with that. I'm also happy to do a fence or, a hedge, a buffer, work with neighbors as far as this current proposal.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, unless there's anything else from council, unless there's anything else you'd like to bring up, I'll open up the floor to any other members of the public.
We got one.
Yes, ma'am. If you'd like to, yes, ma'am. If you could just give your name and address, ma'am.
Well, Trace, Rick, my biggest issue with this piece of property is the drainage. Number one, I live in this development. I see what happens. I walk my dogs along Lexington. It is a parcel 1.1 that separates Madison Oaks, Four Oaks, from coming onto Lexington, which is a double yellow. I just don't understand how constantly threatening with duplexes, whether it's allowed or not, in a small community that people are moving here because it's a beautiful southern community. But truthfully, it's starting to not become one because everything's being built on top of each other. It's like an ant farm. And it's just all the charm, all the beauty is being taken away. There's no way of clearing this, leaving some trees. Those trees absorb water, and I've been telling you this, but you don't want to hear it. And he was offered money for the property, and he refused and said this is his time to shine and make money. I believe that could something be done with the drainage? Yes. But anybody who's going to say, well, I'm going to keep on top of this and make sure, it's not going to happen. We know that. Lives go on. People have things to do. So unless you're going to put a lot into it for the drainage, whether you build 3 houses, 4 houses, you're taking a 1 acre of beautiful trees that hide the people that live there because this property is rectangular. So already when you drive by and you're looking in Joe's kitchen and you're looking in John's living room. These houses are going to be so close and butt up together, literally built on top of each other. I just think it's a shame that that's what's happening. And then you have, what I don't understand here is you have certain areas that a mobile home, you must have an acre to put a mobile home on. Or some areas which I don't believe are Rincon, but I guess that's under county statute where you have to have 5 acres to put a mobile home. But yet in some acres, you could just pile homes on top of each other where people can't breathe. And you don't get the privacy of a backyard. You might as well just start putting up buildings like they did back in New York, which people are trying to get away from, to have more of a simplified, pretty life. Come home, enjoy your backyard. Not watch Mary across the way cooking her dinner. Too many promises are being made on this, and he's talking about 2 neighbors and he's forgetting about all the other neighbors, and a lot of them are men that work evenings, and that's one of the reasons that I'm here, to speak for people who can't, because I can be here. I just don't understand, because a statement was also made at the planning and zoning, a comment about if I've seen what Pooler looks like and how everything's on top of it and it's horrible. And the person that hates living there but wants to come here and do the same thing. I just think it's all around inappropriate. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
The floor is open to anyone else, either in favor or in opposition. Seeing none, per the rules, you have a chance at rebuttal if you'd like to take it. Or if you feel like you've said everything.
Well, I'll just come up just in case there's any additional questions. Again, I understand the concerns for drainage, and I'm willing to work to that end. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm being fully transparent. So the choice is, I mean, at least before me right now with the builder, it's, can we do the 4 houses or 3? We're talking 1 house. So it's, I mean, and also, I mean, if it's like, say, if it's 3 duplexes, that may work out to be more impervious area. Like I used to be an environmental scientist. So, yeah, it's very likely that going this route would actually have less impervious area. But again, I'm willing to put, swales in, ditches, any other best management practices. Of course, I know that the sediment and erosion control ordinance was just discussed, but obviously, while I own the property and it's being developed, I want to make sure that all of the appropriate erosion control is utilized. And again, I talked to Brian, he said he would try to make it, but both of the neighbors that came were definitely just folks that were willing to work with me. And so I've been, in touch with them personally, but I understand, I respect, everyone that lives in the broader community, right? So, I guess I'm just, if anyone has any additional questions.
I believe that covers it, sir. That'll close this public hearing. Turn the meeting over back to the mayor.
Okay, guys, we'll move into our consent agenda. One of the things, Mr. City Manager, if you will, I would like to move, what are we doing there? Each month, we're doing our department reports, once a month.
Last meeting of the month.
Can we move like the department reports out to just before where council questions, comments?
For the end of the meeting?
Yeah, we don't have to do it tonight. I just want to do that moving forward.
Okay.
Because if there's questions anybody's got from the department, whoever's here or you, they can ask those questions and not be tied into that. But there's a motion to approve, and if everybody just understand the consent agenda, because I've also had some comments that people want to correct tonight on the consent agenda. These are items we've already paid on, we've already approved them, and we're moving into the middle or final phase of that job. So it's just a pay request on those jobs. So I know some people think that the consent agenda is trying to jump through items, but it's not. These items have been approved at prior meetings. So there's a motion in order to approve the consent agenda as it's written.
Second.
Got a motion by Ms. Riley. I got a second by Ms. Taylor. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, we'll move on to new business. Number 1, request approval of a proposal from Kimley Horn of Highway 21 Landscape Design Services in the amount of $44,500. Mr. City Manager?
Yes, sir. This is a DOT road. So what the plans are, Kimley Horn here, the representatives are here to discuss this with you. It has to be done under DOT spec plans and landscape plans to the Department of Transportation to review the existing landscaping and new landscaping.
Yes, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so good evening. I'm Harrison Dean with Kimley Horn. We also have Laura Bollock here, who is our landscape architect and planning specialist. So we developed this proposal in coordination with the city manager, and it's for the landscaping design of approximately 0.3 miles along State Route 21 in the median on either side of Town Park Drive, that intersection there, and it would replace and improve the existing landscaping that is there in the median today. So like the city manager said, it would be per GDOT standard. We would apply for a special encroachment permit. It includes a few other items like utility coordination, utility plans, and developing a maintenance agreement between the city and GDOT. So we would develop a sample plant palette and present that to the city at a kickoff meeting to discuss what sort of vegetation would go in that median. And this proposal includes all of the GDOT coordination and permitting, as well as developing a construction cost estimate to prepare the city for bidding and selecting a contractor. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
This will be paid for out of T-Splosh.
Okay. And I want to understand, Mr. City Manager, we can't even remove anything off of 21 that's been planted without approval from DDOT. Is that correct? Okay, sir. So you guys will follow that process all the way through
Yes, sir.
and also screening people to do the work.
And they'll provide a landscape plan for city council to look at before we get there to a full bid.
Yes.
I'm just glad everything's moving forward.
Yeah. Yes.
It's gonna take time, but I'm just glad it's moving. forward. Thank you.
I make a motion to approve.
A second. I got a motion by Ms. Raleigh, I got a second by Mr. Milner. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
New business number 2, vote on application submitted by Jimmy Bowen on behalf of Rincon Church of God requesting conceptual site plan approval for a proposed addition to the Rincon Church of God property consisting of a 750-seat sanctuary, an additional parking lot, and stormwater pond. The subject property owned by the applicant are located at 3430 Highway 21. The parcel is zone B2, general commercial. Parcel R2700005. At their meeting on October 21st, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 5-0 to recommend approval of the proposed conceptual site plan.
I'm Jimmy Bowen, 601 West Ninth Street, Rincon. And we have, our church has experienced a good bit of growth here lately, and we're presently going 3 services, 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 11 on Sundays. And we're approaching consistently 950 to 1,000 people. And, we're gonna have to do something. So we want to try to build a sanctuary to seat 750 people. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's great growing pains right there.
Yeah, but it costs a whole bunch to, build something.
Yes, sir.
But yes, we have the, existing buildings on the bottom there, and the new sanctuary would be the blue looking area right there. And right now we need to get some parking lot space because between that 9:30 and 11 o'clock service kind of bogs down right there, getting people in and out. We've had the sheriff's office out there help us direct traffic, so we pay them to come out and help us. So, any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Ms. Riley, start with you.
Yes, sir.
Motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve.
I got a motion by Ms. Taylor, I got a second by Ms. Riley. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Yes, sir. New business item number 3, vote on petition for a variance submitted by Kevin McLeod, property owner for the property located at North Lexington Avenue, parcel R228-000-1A02. The applicant's requesting a variance from the required minimum lot width of 100 feet to allow a reduced lot width of 74 feet in R2 residential single family and duplex zoning district. At the Planning and Zoning Board meeting on October 21, a motion was made to recommend approval of the proposed variance.
Comments.
Okay, we'll start with you.
So while we appreciate the offer to put in the drainage and maintain the drainage, experience tells us that 20, 30 years down the road, you're going to move on. You're not going to be in this area. We're not going to be on council anymore. And it will absolutely become the city's problem. That's one issue that I have. Also, I don't think, I hear the threat of the duplexes, and just let me tell you that I don't necessarily think duplexes are a bad thing. I think they offer affordable housing options to, firefighters, nurses, school teachers who can't afford to purchase a home a larger home in the city limits of Rincon. So that really, duplexes don't bother me. I am also concerned about the wetlands that are clearly marked on the plat and what the mitigation for that would be. And I did hear you say that it wasn't required, and maybe that is true. But when I look at one of the biggest indicators that something is wetlands is when you look at Q Public and you see that gray across the trees, that's probably wetlands. That tells me that it is a very wet area, and, to Ms. Goldberg's point, if there are wetlands right there and we're just mitigating them with the ditch that is ultimately going to become our problem, it is definitely going to impact the people whose houses are right behind this. I don't know what the solution is, but I don't think it's 4 homes and changing the minimum width of them. I will not be able to.
I already said no.
Councilman Brown spoke up for me, so I agree with her comments.
My questions were answered. Been in the community to listen to the people of that community, and they are very concerned. My number one is the amount of water that's retained in that area. Cannot vote to put this forward.
Motion to north.
Make a motion to deny the request.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Miller to deny the request. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
New business item number 4, vote to approve amended site plan for Saywan America located at 1000 Saywan EV Road, parcel number R2840002. Saywan is proposing to add a second entrance to the existing manufacturing facility. Mr. City Manager?
Yes, sir. These plans for the unit in Saywan were approved roughly a month and a half ago. Since that time, I've dealt with the county engineer and Saywan's upper management. They're going to add a new entrance to Saywan off of the roundabout. Commissioners here to discuss it. Leave the existing entrance to right in and come off the roundabout.
Which is, you can do it, that's the right.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, good evening. I'm Nate Chung here again. Like Bobby explained, let me explain it more. So this is our facility. This is the only entrance at this moment to our facility. So for more safer and also eliminate any traffic potential issues for that we already did for this road. So they're using the roundabout, the team members can come to this way and then make it this shortcut, should roll, so that the team member can go inside, which means they don't have to make a left turn here. Probably safety issues, and also even if we expanded the road, probably in the morning time, coming time, we are expecting the many car lines and staying there, probably potentially traffic issues as well. So county, IDA, and the city, we talk to each other what would be the most effective way to maintain safe and less traffic issue. If the team member allowed to make a go to this way, we believe that there's no traffic issues at all. That's why we added the second access.
Mr. City Manager, you want to add to this? You feel comfortable with?
Yes, I feel comfortable with it. I discussed with Nate and his staff. expectation of signage off the roundabout, a landscape signage that people, you won't have to guess how you're getting in, you know there's gonna be signed on there. And, they've agreed to that.
No question.
The road is just gonna be used by the team members to go access the parking there in the building.
Not only for that, of course, we
For
shouldn't have,
visitors too.
yeah, of course, we shouldn't have that situation. But Robbie mentioned that, of course, me, it's very important, just in case the firefighter needs to come to our facility. In the sense, they can make it easily consistent. If not, waiting or like that. So it'll be easier for everybody.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest concern. I was talking about what's the safety, public safety.
I would just like to know that this is going to be a private road, or is this a public road coming off the?
The main road off the roundabout is owned by, Economic Development, FEM. So that, they'll own that road, and it also serves for the adjacent property on the left of the main entrance hall. What, Saywan's gonna do, utilize the existing road and do the little. Yes.
But the reason I'm asking, if, and there's nothing discussed, but if for some reason down the road, they wanted to take that extension coming off the roundabout and keep going back through for another connection, would we have that capability, or is it landlocked? Do we know?
Another connection.
Road, or if you want to come off of that and go onto other properties on the left is what I'm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
That the IDA is interested in.
Yes,
That's the idea.
Yeah.
I'll second it. Oh, go ahead. That's good.
I got a motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Blackwell, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passed. New business number 5, vote on application submitted by Andrew Segro. Am I right? Say it, how you say it? Segro. 3 times before the meeting. With First Gulf, FG Savannah, requesting conceptual site plan approval for a proposed development consisting of 348,000 square foot, single-story, multi-tenant industrial building designed to accommodate warehousing and associated use. The subject properties owned by the applicant are located on Highway 21. The parcels are zoned L1, limited industrial. Parcel numbers R2700011 and R2170012A00. And at their meeting on October 21st, Planning and Zoning Board voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the proposed conceptual plan. City Manager?
I want to add on this, this is a conceptual plan, this isn't the final site plan. But if you'll notice the road going in, and Mr. Squirrel will go over it with you when he comes up here. You'll see the road to the warehouse. I want y'all to keep in mind that there will be a traffic signal on 21 in the future, and all access coming from this warehouse will be directed to that traffic signal. That road to the traffic signal is lightly outlined on this sheet.
So this is what came to us a while back, and there's going to be a frontage road that goes down to the red light getting, okay.
That's correct. Yeah. I feel like this makes it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you can kind of see if you, so this is the interim entrance that we talked about kind of in the meeting, that will ultimately be replaced, and you can kind of see it here, by the signalized entrance that will ultimately form the permanent entrance. So at that point, this will be turned into a right-in, right-out only. That would take over as the primary entrance. Nothing else on the site has changed since the April meeting. We are continuing forward. The only additional item that you'll see is the parking variance that we are requesting as part of this the site plan application. Really, the intent is just to bring it into alignment with what users typically require of the surrounding area, the variances that were received previously. Yeah, thanks, Larry. So you can see here, this was part of our parking memo that we were provided, and we had our consultant just take a look and see, what are the surrounding areas, what are they doing, what do they have that is built. And you can see Coastal Trade Center really just quite literally across the street. They are at a rate of about 0.3 spots per 1,000 square feet of warehousing, or I'll say building space. Right now, we are requesting 0.5. To really bring it down to the average there, which you'll see the cumulative average there is about 0.5 per 1,000 square foot. But the plan that you see as part of this application actually has 0.6. So we are requesting a variance for slightly lower, but we are providing more parking as it stands right now, just to provide us additional flexibility. As was mentioned, we do not have a user yet for this space. This building will go forward when we do have a user. But generally, this is what is going to be proposed. There might be some minor tweaks depending on what they require, but generally, this is what we are moving forward. This is the plan that we are proceeding with. And so as you can see, no real changes have occurred other than the parking.
So April was a long time ago.
Certainly.
And I'll be honest with you, when I looked at this, my GPS does not recognize Zero Highway 21. Can we remind the public where this is and what it's next to? I don't want them to think that we're putting in another warehouse next to, outside the warehouse area. Is there, the Q Public site, something to show that this is right next to the other warehouses? No pictures across the street. I mean.
Yeah. I don't have anything unfortunately in front of the deck. If you can maybe go warehouse, or you will.
The warehouse itself is behind the Habitat building.
That's correct, sir. Yes.
The entrance that you're proposing now is just south of that house.
That's correct.
Dan still wants us.
Yeah, that's his house.
That's all the setbacks. We were going to be planting, so down to the south here, we've got wetlands that have delineated, or I should say the jurisdictional area that was delineated, which you're respecting. We've got, so the entrance is right here. We've got planting all the way around through, respecting all the boundaries, all the buffers from that area, just to make sure there is no that. And so we've got that. And again, ultimately, that's coming in there.
Okay.
So.
And then that line will work for the other one as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The parking variance, just to clarify, is that for the trucks or the automobile?
Automobiles. Yeah, so generally what we are seeing is, again, it depends obviously on the ultimate user, but generally, as you can see, typically they provide much less, just that's how operations are really working these days. But nonetheless, while we are requesting some, we're trying to keep as much as kind of is feasible, really. No.
So why are we requesting less than you think you actually need?
No, sorry. I mean, in terms of typically it's actually more. We're the 0.5 per 1,000. If you could take a look at the other sites, do have many that are below. Coastal Trade is below what we are requesting. So Coastal Trade's at 0.3. We are requesting 0.5. So we're still providing over what was previously approved for Coastal Trade.
So y'all can see it in comparison to the other warehouse.
I got there, it took me a minute.
Coastal Trade will be four-way traffic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Motion hold. Second. Motion by Mr. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, new business number 6, Kildare Land Company LLC requests approval to deed Club Street in the right of way to the city of Rincon. Mr. City Manager.
Yes, sir. I'm going to hand this off to Mr. Brash from the petitioner. It's my understanding this was a subdivision that was built in 2022 and the city never accepted the breakaways.
Well, Mr. Osea might be able to get us back to the day, but it was pretty hectic. The way I remember it is we signed everything at one time, right back there in that office. We were short like a notary. Mr. Osea helped us out with this and the other. But somehow or another, the deed to the road actually got misplaced. But in order for us to have sold all those little lots that are along there now, we had to have something approved. So my understanding is that 12th Street should have been given back a couple of years ago. It wasn't. And what I'm here for tonight is to see if y'all will go ahead and let us do it tonight. And I brought a deed in. We just flat out, I don't know how it happened. I hate it, but it just never got recorded.
Yeah, the businesses there are doing fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Dunkin' Donuts, sandwich shop, and
But there's two more lots back there. We need to go at it before something else happens. But those two businesses, Miss Jessie, you're talking about, they wouldn't be there if we hadn't had that road approved. It's just, it got lost somehow, and Ms. Osea is one of the best in the world. Tonight, she got best clerk in Georgia. This happened, and she's wonderful. But I tried to get in touch with Raymond and see if he might have something. He wasn't able to help me. Ms. Osea searched as hard as she can. She couldn't. The only thing we could find was where it was sent down here. But it was sent. But it was just, I don't know what happened to the original. But the clerk of Superior Court doesn't have it, and neither does the lady who does the taxes.
Ooh.
So what we're trying to do is stop any future taxes on 12th Street.
I promise you one thing, if we do it tonight, our city attorney now will keep up with it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not putting the blame on anybody. It could have been any of us, and I don't know. All I know is that we did a hard search, and it ain't at the courthouse.
Guys, you got anything, Ms. Riley?
No, sir.
Motion in order.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blackwell, I got a second by Mr. Milner. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, thank y'all, and council, thank y'all for your service, and, Mr. Osea, we ain't gonna lose it again, are we? See y'all later. Thank you.
Item number 7, request approval of upgrades to the Cates Cove, Keller Road, Silverwood, and Hickory Knob lift stations, in well number 3. Come on, Bobby, I know you know that. Ain't no way he's off.
I kind of feel like I need to use it.
When you tell him how much it costs, he might have.
I might think off on the sure.
He's going to sling that little tip off.
No kidding. Yeah, it's dangerous. So should I just go ahead and sit back down? So basically, obviously, as we go through all these lift stations, we continue to find some issues. We've got specifically 3 stations. The telemetry is not communicating back to the office, so we're kind of flying blind. The current system that we have that's working on radios, it's kind of a phased out system. We've got 2 options. We can do the entire system right now, which would be very cost prohibitive, or we can look at this option, which would be to go to a cellular based system for these stations only for right now to see how it works. I think it's a good option, maybe not the best option, but cost wise right now, this is probably where we want to go with it. Like I say, it's not cheap, it's just short of $42,000, but it'll get us talking. That way we can see at all times what these stations are doing, and we don't currently have that, so.
All right, so how long do you think, oh, I'm sorry, I'm speaking out of turn.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll go ahead and start with you and then do.
How long do you think we will have, with this temporary?
This is something, if we wanted to go completely cellular over the years, this would work great. Would be step 1 of however many we want to break this out into. If we decide in the future, hey, we want to go to a completely different radio style system, then we can do that in the shorter term, longer term, depending on how we want to break it out cost wise and everything. But this might be what we decide, hey, we like how this works. Let's just do it. And once we get this piece in place, we can do it 1 station at a time, or we can do all the stations
Josh, explain to them exactly what they're getting. So if the lift station shuts off, power stops, it notifies, will you explain?
Yes, so this gives us the capability of having any alarms that we get at that station. It comes right to the office and then it calls somebody and says, hey, there's an issue. So most of the stations have that. There's these few that don't. The only time we wouldn't get these is a complete power outage. It can't call an alarm because there's no power there. So, but yeah, this would catch 95% of the issues, potential issues if we do have an alarm at the station.
And the $42,000 is for all of these locations?
It gets you, for those 3 locations, there's a few little upgrades at Hickory Knob and well number 3. And it also gets you the necessary upgrades at our office. Yeah.
Well, that's
Gives
not
you
bad.
the base station at Public Works building.
That's right. That's right.
That was my question as I was done. Is so you would be able to dial in from your home Saturday night and see what it's doing also.
Yes. Yeah.
Along with it sending you.
And we already do have that capability for most of the stations. We just can't, since there's no radio communications, we can't field these.
Second.
We got a motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Milne. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate that hard work on getting these things. I know that we don't see a lot of things and we don't see the grass cut sometimes. What we got to remember is man, we are fixing things that were not fixed for a long time.
We're getting there.
And,
We got a long ways to go.
Thank you for it.
And if I might say that through Robbie, I was able to go visit some of our lift stations and our wells, and he commented that we were going to have to upgrade some of our communications in the future because they were just not communicating at all. So thank you.
New business number 8, request approval to surplus a 2003 Seagrave ladder truck.
Mr. Mayor, that's been wrong.
Oh,
We were able to work with the company we're buying our new truck on the trade-in.
this is great.
Excellent.
Great. Correct. What is this? This is not in, this is not the one, what did we get rid of, Lou, that we were trying to get to another city or county or? Okay. So we got that, we did get that done.
That was salvaged. And Lou, I believe you said the trade-in value was 25,000 for this.
Yes.
For ladder truck.
So item 8 was what's done?
Yes. Yes. Not for trading it in.
On the new ladder truck.
On the new ladder truck, they gave us $25,000 for the old ladder truck. In the condition that it's in.
Thank you. Spend money.
Yes.
Every little bit.
Yes.
Thank you.
New business number 9, request approval of a monthly contract with Bowers Lawn Care and Landscaping for the city of Rincon.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna hand this off to the facility maintenance supervisor, Dr. Jenkins, to discuss this.
I'm a little nervous. I haven't spoken like this in probably over a year and a half, but if you see me, they told me at the beginning, at the early meeting, if you see me, we're spending some money. That's right. So y'all can invite me all you want, but you show up, we're gonna spend some money. So, I guess this is a proposal. I've never done this before, so.
We got 3 prices. He reached out to several landscape people for City Hall, Veterans Park, and the Highland Center.
So you finally got 3 people to respond?
Yes.
And it's only for those 3 locations?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's for a weekly service, not say 10 days to 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Would we the flower beds in Veterans Park?
Part of the contract.
Right, it covers that. It's a lot more expensive.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Rob, you got anything?
I just have a few questions. I know some people have heard me on the kick of promote small local business. And I know it's difficult for people to, when you put out for quotes, people just don't submit it. Right. Where are these submitted? On our website, or how's the request for quotes submitted?
So I actually just rode around town as I saw landscapers doing work in town. I, wrote down their information and contacted them.
And this company, what do we know about them? Obviously, they're insured.
Yes.
Do we have any references?
I know he's located out of Statesboro, and I know that he does do some local businesses here in Rincon already.
And then this will be how long of a commitment?
A yearly. And I called our previous landscaper and basically terminated that contract today. So he has 30 days from the end of that. So starting today.
That's quite the other question. We were out at Veterans Park today and thank you.
That'll be him.
Thank you.
Today. And when if y'all approve this, when you approve this, please name the vendor and the price per month, which is $15.
What is it?
$15.60.
So I will make a motion to approve Bowers Lawn Care Landscaping for the city of Rincon Landscaping in the amount of $1,560. A week.
Month.
Per month?
Yes. My 50 lawn care.
She said, for a week.
Motion pending as amended.
Per month. My apologies.
All right, I got a motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second by Ms. Taylor. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you. Appreciate all your.
Yes, we got new business number 10, request contract with Henry White for a concrete slab at the City Club Park and Barn.
Welcome back, everybody. So the purpose of this concrete is to connect the old cart barn with the new cart barn. So that way it would be a lot easier for people to return their carts. That's really about it.
This is.
So it's going to basically, so that way they can drive from the parking lot onto the new slab, and they'll be able to return their carts at the new cart barn and the old cart barn.
Well, that, and also I think too that it's be nice to mention the drainage. They're going to put in drainage there because right now it just floods the whole, when they wash them, it just comes out.
There's going to be there's going to be a curving on the concrete slab. That way it directs the water away from the parking lot out into the area.
And will they, that'll be where the washing's going on that particular pad. You've got it coming out far enough, the wash carts over there.
It's just amazing.
So this vendor, Mr. Harold White, he is local, and I do know that he does outstanding work. If we are done with comments, I'll make a motion to approve Harold White for $27,856.
For the concrete slab.
For the concrete slab, yes, sir.
I got a motion by Mr. Milner. I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Bob, hang out. New business now, still here.
Still spending
You didn't
money.
know that you were doing the department, new business number 11, request contract with Harold White for a concrete slab at Freedom Park.
So this will be a 40 by 120 slab for the ice skating rink to be located at Freedom Park, so we don't have to put it on plywood. And it'll also be utilized for other events that we hold out there. It's going to be, if you're facing the stage, it's going to be over to the left-hand side of the stage. And we're going to put electrical in the middle of it for trees and whatever else decorations we do out there.
Well, so last year we did it with plywood, And it rained the day after they put it down, it bowed, and people couldn't really skate on it. So this will be permanent. Also, I think you had mentioned to me the other day when I rode out there that it's also going to be recessed. You, as city manager one, said it would be recessed, so we won't have a piece sticking up. It won't be 4 inches out the ground. It'll be recessed 2 inches. So
there'll be some grading to make all that area kind of level, so what the mayor just talked about.
Yes, there'll be a little bit, there's a little bit.
he did a 2 foot, I think he did a 2 foot bridge on that so that we could actually shoot the fence down. Last year, the fence was underneath the, and it was wobbly with people leaning on it, so now it will be shot down.
This is approved tonight, will it be completed before Thanksgiving?
Yes, sir. I've already made contact with the contractor to verify that he could have it done.
I make a motion to approve for a concrete slab at Freedom Park in $30,000.
We got a motion by Mr. Ronald, we have a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want to go up, you want to stay up here and do the payroll? Number 12, request approval to amend the City of Rincon's personnel policy 005, payroll and paydays, section 05.07, time cards and time clocks. Ms. Advice.
Good evening, Mayor Council. This is simply to amend our comp time portion of our payroll. So, exempt employees, which are salaried employees, right now, the way our comp time, policy reads is not, correct with the way the state reads for salaried. So they have been kind of counting their time if they've worked extra and then coming in late. But our state law says that salaried employees their hours, like they don't work per hourly. They're paid for the work they do. So essentially what we are trying to create together with the Human Resources Department is we'll be having a form where salaried employees can keep up with their comp time. And then once they have enough to take a full day off, they have to submit it to their supervisor and the city manager for approval. And if it's approved, then they'll be able to take a full day off. They have 60 days to submit that. And if they are very busy, can't do it within 60 days, they could submit a request to the city manager for an extension of 30 days to allow them to take that day off, according to the comp time. So this will help to keep up with that, and it'll be monitored by the HR director and the city manager.
So it also explains to me, I have this and it has numbers, 5.1.
Go to the second page, maybe.
I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then I have these that have letters of the alphabet, some in red and some in black. I don't know what you're wanting to remove.
What we're wanting to add is the red. What we're changing is the red.
And are you removing anything from the current policy as it stands?
No, we're just changing it.
How do you change it if you're not removing anything?
It's the same section G that you're amending
Yeah.
in the red. Before. We don't have the before.
The only thing you're amending is section G?
Yes.
Okay. I don't like the fact that we don't have all of the payroll policy. And it appears to be two separate policies with the way that it's numbered. I personally would like to table this until I actually have documents that makes sense, because these don't. Okay. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like two separate policies. Number 5.01 through 5.07, and then I pick up with B. What happened to A?
A's under 5.07. You got A and then it changed to B.
Well, maybe we got it.
Maybe I do. Hold on a minute. Let me think. I read all of this and didn't catch that. Thank you.
He's slick.
Hidden.
So I have a question I just want to ask you. So the comp time will be kept up with by the employees.
The employee and their supervisor.
Okay. So if it's a department head, that would be Robbie. So Robbie would, in a sense, have a spreadsheet or email to verify that that person worked over, right? Or I could easily say that I worked 4 hours last night, Robbie. I mean, you know.
They would have to fill out a form and,
But most of the time when my department heads are doing something, I know what they're doing.
You already know.
I know that. This is not hourly employees. Hourly employees get paid time and a half. This is salary.
And we've got department heads that work weekends and, you know, that don't really fit the hourly, you know, 8 to 5. We've got people that are Saturday, Sunday, whatever.
Now, working events.
yes.
Everybody did it at the fair, radio.
Ms. Riley, we'll start with you. She had or feel it?
Okay, now, the family member.
It's flex time. I think we approved that. Was that when Whitney, because we needed her and she was working back and forth, fix all this? Is that why we did flex time or? Because some people, it's like, okay,
You're calling flex time what she's calling compensatory time, same? Or are you talking about flexible schedule?
we're talking flexible schedules. Is that what this is?
No.
This is if they want time off.
It's the same, I think.
I think the E under that G, the bullet E talks about that flexible. But each department would have to accommodate it according to operational needs. But essentially, I don't think that's what we're changing. It was just highlighted in red because it's that whole G section. What we're mostly changing is the in that G's, the B, the C, and the D that talks about how to keep up with the time.
It's just cleaning.
Yes. Just keep
We
it
gotta
up.
be careful. You got people.
We're not.
We're open 8 to 5.
Mhm.
But yeah, if that's all you think.
Yeah.
You got anything like?
No.
You don't? Motion support.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the ended personnel policy.
Second.
We got a motion by Mr. Blackwell, second by Ms. Taylor, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passed. New business item number 13, request approval of budget amendment, BA 2024-3. Ms. Adasi, you can stay around for that one?
Yes. So while I've been working on budget, I discovered that there was a fire truck that was purchased last year, and it was not coded to the right deal account. And so I was able to meet with the city manager and our fire chief, and we found that it was not appropriated in the right account. So we have, it has been paid for, it was paid out, it was purchased, it was approved by council, it was presented to council on September 23rd, and it was approved for purchase. But what we want to do is we have been told by Whitney that there is a surplus of $2.7 million for fiscal year 2024. So we're going to use a little bit of that, $1 million, not a little bit, but We were able to find that there was some 75,000 in a GL account that we're going to apply to that was budgeted for. It was part of the fiscal year 24 budget, but has never been used. And then we will be, and then fire department also had 25,000 sitting in their capital equipment expense line item that hasn't been used either. That was budgeted for. So that brings us to sort of 100,000. The truck was purchased for 1.1 million. So that'll cover the 100,000, and then we would like the authorization to use the 1 million from the surplus to cover that expense, even though the expense was already covered, but was already paid. But we want to essentially move the expense from the general fund to the fire fund.
Just to clear up what she's saying,
Sorry.
100% right, I'm gonna break it down. It was purchased out of the general fund, it should have been purchased out of the fire fund. But this is just paperwork that's being done to make 2024 budget. I mean, everything that Ms. Dawson says is perfectly right.
That's right.
But I'm gonna put it in layman's terms for you.
Yeah. And then the 100,000 was excess.
That was money we had in the fire fund.
Yeah.
Motion's in order, guys.
Go ahead. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Miller. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. New business item number 14, request approval of budget amendment BA 2025-2.
I'm gonna speak first.
Our respiratory protection program is in serious need of upgrade. We are operating on 2007 equipment that is no longer upgradable. It is we lose 80 of 100 SCBA cylinders December 30th. They're past their 15-year shelf life. So we have to get this in and get it done. So we are requesting that we use some money out of my reserves and what I had in contingency this year.
I had
To purchase 30 mine safety equipment, air packs.
So that, during the budget process, did you guys budget that for last year? Was that budgeted? Was that an item that we knew was coming up or?
No.
Okay.
So,
And I want to also add, we're proposing to pay it in full instead of over a period of time. We couldn't finance it over a period of time because our audits haven't been done yet.
Yeah.
So as soon as they're done, we could have done that.
We should have done.
Yes.
I just wondered, things like that come up. I mean, it just don't come up.
Yes.
We just need to know we budget for that.
and they're good for 15 years?
Yes, they are. 15-year bumper to bumper warranty.
Is there a trade-in thing?
There is a trade-in at the end of this 15-year life cycle. The problem is ours are 18 years old and nobody will touch them.
Okay.
They're not for us. Fall coat.
Needed.
Second.
Got a motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second by Mr. Bill, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Go read. Yes.
So when do you plan for that? Like, I mean, I know I won't be here, but, do you put it on a calendar or write it on the equipment? Okay, and so many years before this expires, we need to.
Start trading in packs and getting new packs.
So you're not doing everything.
That's correct.
That's right.
That's correct.
And explain what you've been doing to them, and then this year they told you you're done.
Yes, so every year they've been costing us anywhere from $9,000 to $10,000 in maintenance on electronics. The electronics are no longer good. They're very hard to come by. So we had, this year, they were like, this is it. This is it.
And you would not have known that when you were making the budget?
Correct. Correct.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to, we'll do, no, that's that next question and then we'll vote on it. New business number 15, request approval of the City of Rincon personal credit card policies and procedures.
Yes. Earlier this year, you guys approved, council approved the, credit cards with Ameris. Finally, that has come to fruition. We do have all of the credit cards in the office, but we have not distributed them because we want to have a credit card policy in place that apparently has never been in place in the city. So I worked on drafting this credit card policy. Some of the important features of it is that there will be a consolidated monthly statement that the finance department will have, so we know what everybody spent. But each individual cardholder will get a statement directly regarding their card. So each cardholder will be able to see their charges and be able to reconcile, make sure to provide all the receipts. This credit card policy will put limits and accountability on each cardholder. There will be consequences for missing receipts. There will be consequences for not complying and not submitting their receipts on time. I gotta be honest, we haven't really had that issue since I got here. Everybody's been really, really good. So I'm hoping this is not gonna
jinx us.
Yes. Jinx us, but I think it's important to have a policy set up so that everyone knows what to abide. And another perk of this credit card in comparison to the one we currently have, this is issued to the city. So even if there are staff changes in the future with myself, mayor, or whatever, it won't be a problem. You know, whoever's in that position will be able to continue with the card. Right now, our current card is in a former employee's name. So that's going to be fun to cancel.
So we're doing it. When will it happen? When our audits are done? Or I know we're waiting for the approval and all that stuff. So we'll get new cards.
We have the cards.
Oh, you already have them. So we need to turn in our American Express if we're going to Visa?
Yes.
Okay.
So before, your predecessor was the authorized person to make changes to the credit card system. Now it's the person in your position, not that person. Not Jane, but Jane, the director of finance.
Exactly.
Good, because that was one of my key elements that I wanted to make sure. Now, and you said there was going to be a dollar limit in charging.
Yes.
Is that?
So you will get.
Council might have a different limit, say a firefighter going to training.
Is there a table somewhere outlined?
There's going to be a table like that we may review.
I could provide you with one if you all want one. I could send you a table of what the limits will be per card, but each card holder will get a acknowledgement form that will say what their limit is. And they will have to sign it saying they've gotten a copy of the credit card policy and that they will abide by it before we give them the cards.
You said credit card statement is sent to the city as a whole. So if I charge a hotel room for something, it won't come to me, my house, but it comes to the city.
It'll come to the city, but we will put it in your box.
Correct.
So each card holder will have their own personal statement, or each department will have their statement.
Again, thank you. I find it pretty embarrassing that, prior administrations, this is what we've talked about, SOPs. Thank you, because this sets guidelines for when we're not here and we move on. And I commend you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had two more questions for Dasa. Is there any kind of reward program with these credit cards?
Yes.
Who's
So
going to benefit from that reward? The city?
yes, so there is cash back. can't remember what the percentages are right now, but they will give us cash back for a certain amount of purchases per month. That will be deposited directly into our bank account, our pool cash account, our main account. Essentially what I would maybe like to do with that, because it's cash back from that, maybe use it for any employee incentives or, activities for the employees, since it's not public funds per se. It's rewards for the credit cards.
Right, we'd have to reuse those to benefit the whole employee staff.
Mhm. Yeah.
The other question was, since we're city employees, as a government agency, will the sales tax be coded into those cards? So like if Lou goes down to the Lowe's to buy something, the sales tax comes out because it's a government charge?
No.
No, that's normally done by business.
Yeah.
Right. So, I'm just asking, 'cause I'm not sure, because when we do
Yes.
so we'll still have one.
Yeah.
Yep.
She did.
And I'll second.
Got a motion by Mr. Raleigh, I got a second by Mr. Blackwell. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. New business item number 16, first reading to consider proposed amendments to the City of Rincon UDO, specifically Chapter 2, definitions, Chapter 9, maintenance and enforcement, and the creation of Chapter 11, soil erosion, sedimentation, and pollution control. At their meeting on October 21, 2025, the Planning and Zoning Board voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the proposed amendments. Ms. Lewis.
We had the public hearing on these earlier, nothing new to.
Anyone?
No additional
Sarah?
questions.
Ms. Black? Motion's in order.
Motion approved. Second.
We've got a motion by Mr. Milner. I got a second by Ms. Taylor. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. New business item number 17, consideration of a resolution to abandon a portion of 6th Street and invite bids for the sale of that portion of 6th Street.
Yes, sir. This has been an ongoing process. We've got the property appraised. There's a process that has to be followed, and the city attorney can tell you that. This is to invite bids for a portion of 6th Street, but I want to add the reason that we're doing this is the pedestrian traffic on 6th Street with this location with the church and surrounding properties is dangerous. So that's the main thing I want people to understand why we're doing this as a public safety issue.
And what I'll mention, Mr. Mayor, before y'all talking about it, process-wise, procedurally, the city needs to evaluate abandoning the street in the sense of they relinquishing that role as a city function, which you would do by adopting this resolution. Thereafter, and we're announcing tonight, if you vote in favor of it, is opening up a public bid. Any entity or individual that wants to buy it. The city, consistent with state law, has put it out for bid. I believe the number, the neutral appraisal, came to was $189,000. By law, the bid has to come within at least 15% of that.
What's that number?
Dana.
No, what's the 15%?
As a lawyer, it'll take me a minute to pull it up.
That's fine.
Calculator, you're
Take your time.
89, 85%. So double check my math, but $160,650. The bids would need to be received. There's going to be a public notice that would go out by law. It goes out in the newspaper at least 2 weeks. And in that, there'd be a formal invitation to bid. Bids need to be received by a certain date. I believe offhand, that's November 21st. Thank you, Ms. Lewis. And they would be read out on the 24th, which the city is currently scheduled to meet that Monday. I believe that covers everything, but Civic Parcel, I think, this King has part of 6th Street up there.
We have a process question.
Yes, ma'am.
Michelle has to recuse on this item. There's only 3 of us here. Can we vote on this?
So because it's an invitation to bid and it's about the street, there's not a conflict. What bids to accept and when would be something to recuse from.
Okay.
Such is my opinion, as you're sticking the mud and slap.
Appreciate that. Didn't want to get in trouble.
Yes. So with that being said, unless there's legal questions for me or property questions for other city staff, y'all.
They will only have two part questions. I only know right now of only one bidder that will bid. Be the church.
Well, we can't assume who
Yeah, I
will
know.
bid.
But what if we didn't have any bidders?
Then what would happen, you start, so first of all, you have discretion on whether to accept any bids.
That's true.
And if for whatever reason you had no bids and or you rejected all bids, which you have discretion to do, you then could decide you're going to reopen the roadway. So there'd be no harm, no foul,
Okay.
for lack of a better phrase. And we certainly could discuss more in between we're at the meeting once you receive
Yeah, yeah.
residents. Yes, sir.
All right, motion in order.
Second.
Got a motion by Ms. Riley, I got a second. Mr. Blackwell, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Full comments.
Small business. Rincon Small Business, you're on alert. Coming out to see you, and I am promoting small business in our community. This is the backbone of our community, and there's a lot of people that make a living in this community by their service. So, more to come.
Yeah, and I think I wanted to add to that because you brought up a good point the other day. We were having a conversation and Tim said that small business, out speaking to a few of those guys, wanted to potentially workshop with council and discuss, how we can improve on small business. And I appreciate him doing that because I think that's important, going out and having a conversation with small business.
Yeah, it's one of those conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, and so bringing that to the table and getting the workshop rolling is, I think it'll be, I look forward to setting that.
I do got something. Oh, crap, just went away.
Oh, there it goes.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. You want me to talk about something else? We could, I did want to get a update. I don't know it's on here, but we're getting close. I know they were looking at where the fencing and stuff was going to go for the picket fences area. You guys, and I'll tell you, one of the things that Tim brought up a while ago about SOPs, Brandy and I talked on the phone today, and she has been talking about SOPs since we started. And I think that we really need to consider when we do this project out here, when we complete it, we have an SOP as to how that works, who's the gatekeeper and all those things. So,
What? He's the gatekeeper.
he's the gatekeeper.
No, I'm the gatekeeper.
He is the gatekeeper.
So I spoke with EMC Engineering last week. We're looking at 2 to 3 weeks. They've got the two big pipes they put in on the picket fences side that they're going to remove to help with the drainage. And then we'll put bollards up and put the fences in and we'll be done.
Yay.
Long that, when they finish all that Lou just mentioned, will they sod that area where the two homes are adjacent to that entrance way?
They'll probably, I think they've already, sprayed it with, hydro seed.
See,
Yeah, and I did speak with Doug about that. He got an answer back because the neighbors said that they kind of went over water, just kind of hydro seed over the water, and I think they went out and made that repair. And then,
Yes, they were making that repair to drain that back piece of property back into the sewer system.
that's right. To keep it from going up.
Correct. To keep going on his property. So that's what we're just waiting on that. So back into the storm. Yeah.
They're going to play.
Buy it every day. We are very close to Mountain Fun with the way that it does look visually in the neighborhood. I do feel that we are going to get some pushback from it. I drive by it every single day. That's going to be the issue. It is not
Well, they want to
aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
back the gates up to the primary property owners to join the fences so that they can put fencing up along to extend fencing to make it look more aesthetically pleasing.
Robbie, is there anything that we can do to maybe assist with that, at least
I mean, there may need to be,
I think the first thing we need to do is let those some of those property owners need to understand where their yard is and where it is. Because we were getting a lot of complaints from someone that was utilizing this piece of property that wasn't their yard. So that, I
so
think,
absolutely, and I know that that was happening. I'm just saying from my perspective as someone who does live in there and drives by it every day, it's
would you rather, Ms. Riley, have the gates recessed further back?
It's not about the gates. It's about the fact that we have a, we've built that road up, obviously. And then it kind of drops. I mean, just the way that it looks is not very nice. It probably needs a little bit of landscaping and that would solve the problem.
Just to kind of add it, but not, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be used, but
Just some grass on the side of it that's sprayed on and hasn't taken root is probably not.
Now, another question I have on the entrance to Pickett Fence gravel right now. You go over to McCall Road and look at that entrance, it's concrete about 10 or 15 feet over the drainage pipe that's put in there.
I think the county might require that.
Frank, so my question was, don't think we require that portion in Pickett Fence to be concrete.
No,
we didn't.
Where it dropped off of McCall Road.
I'm thinking about the gravel.
Don't clean it out.
We just don't want the gravel to be washing out to the road and people traveling down and kick up rocks, especially to the property area.
That we could budget for it in the future, but we budgeted it this way, and from what we just spent, $30,000 for a concrete pad. That's not an budget.
okay, I remember. Did we budget to get rid of the eyeball and get new stuff where people could hear us and see us properly?
Something other than this. She talks about it every single
I
day.
hate that thing, and people complain to me all the time. We can't hear what you're saying. Y'all look funny. It's gonna be
Fix it, we might refund. I will appreciate it if you fix it, because it has, I have gotten.
dated.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, is that it? Do we have a need for executive session? I think we do.
We do.
We have a quick question on something, and then we can move forward. And I believe that, it's just.
My fault.
Yeah, it's Brandy. So we'll, the motion's in order to move into executive session.
Second.
Question from Mr. Blackwell, I got a second. From Mr. Harold. All in favor, say aye.